Prioritizing was not at all in my dictionary. I never used to prioritize myself. I was always about family, family, family. Child, the only safe place is the home. As the child grows, still the arguments are happening, still the conflicts are happening. The child starts feeling unworthy. The child thinks, okay, Appa and Amma are fighting. Appa and Amma are not loving me enough because I am unworthy of love. I feel vulgarity is in their thoughts, not in the dress that we wear. Yeah, even in my own family, I've seen this. Child is grown also, even then, for the child to get into that matured state of thinking, I think it's going to take time. By that time, they'll already be into that abusive relationship. Marriage is a very personal choice, and it should be the decision of the woman when to marry, whom to marry, where to marry. All these things are a woman's personal choice. Not even the parents can force someone to marry. People say, you're just a homemaker, you're taking rest all the time, but you're working morning till night. Look at the activities that you're doing. Only when the mother is happy, the children can also be happy. Only when the mother is happy, the husband can also be happy. Overall, it is you that is very important to the family, and it is very important that you live your life, do things that you love.
Women is putting women down, or it's both men and women? Hello and welcome to Joey Asks. All That She Wants podcast is now the Joey Asks podcast. This is a space where I sit with incredible women from various backgrounds of life and talk about the questions that we are secretly thinking about. Our career, relationships, mental health, social stigma, safety, all of it. Today, I am in conversation with India's internet mom, and I can't wait to dive in with her with a lovely chat. Let's welcome Sumitra Sriram, a content creator, a singer, a social activist, a mom, a wife, and a feminist. I welcome you.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you for the warm welcome. And the things that you said about me truly makes me feel honored and special. And I love how you're passionate about your podcast. You just told me how you started I'm so inspired by how you started your journey. And the other day, the first time when we were speaking on phone, you told me that the money is not the focus, and whatever money I get out of this, I put it into creating more podcasts again. And that was so refreshing to hear, because I resonate deeply with you. Like, we are focusing on empowering women and not on money. So that is the best part of it. And I'm so happy that we got a chance to connect here on this podcast today.
Thank you so much. I truly connected with you instantly, and I was like, wow. So there are two kind of people. One, you connect so easily, and one, no matter how much you try, it just doesn't happen. And I think we build that connection.
Thank you so much. And I also feel truly like a sister and a friend to you.
I love the way you welcome me. Instead of me welcoming you, you were welcoming me. I love that. So yes, it's seen. The energy is clearly seen, right?
Yes.
What it really means. So yeah. So let's get started.
Yes.
I think the main thing that I wanted to check with you is prioritizing yourself was always the first thing, or there was a learning, a life experience that changed your mind and you got into it?
Prioritizing was not at all in my dictionary. So I never used to prioritize myself. I was always about family, family, family. And I was always the good girl that satisfied everyone around me. And I prioritized everyone else except me. And there was one, I wouldn't say it is a single incident that changed my mind, but maybe it was spread over a period of time, like say 6 months or 1 year. And one day it dawned upon me that this is not how we live our life. And this is so because at the age of 43, at the age of 43, suddenly I felt like this is not how women have to live. Women have to live a free life and enjoy their life. And that's when I started turning things around for myself. That's prioritizing myself. Initially it was very uncomfortable to say a no when people asked me to do certain things, and I said a no. It was very uncomfortable, and I felt so guilty. I felt like I'm doing a big mistake. And it took some time for me to develop all those things, and I wasn't into social media. That is the main thing. The only thing I had was WhatsApp. So I don't have any exposure to the outside world. All that I knew was family, and all that I knew was other family women who were also like me. So I didn't have the exposure of how women are away from, women around the world are like. So that was lacking in my life. So once I got into social media, I understood how other women are living their life. And then when I got that exposure, I knew that women can live in a happy way also. This is not how, not circling inside the kitchen 24 by 7, serving people inside the family and attending to them all the time. People walking all over us and disrespecting us, and the all those struggles that women have inside the family that never comes out. It's always suppressed. People don't even want to talk about it, and even if you go out and talk about it, they're sure to stop you. Why are you saying all these things to the outside world? So that's what happens, right? So that was, there were some incidents that happened in the family, but I don't want to discuss that here. The thing is, I made a change that day.
So, how difficult is it for you to say no now?
I would be able to say no most of the times. I still have those inhibitions. I still want to please people. I still want to, not that I became an expert or anything, but I it's a long way, but I'll be there one day.
I'm sure you will. I think lessons and experiences
Yes.
teach us,
Yes.
and more of the negative impacts that we get from people that
Yes.
pushes us towards it, and
Yes.
we learn a lot.
Hmm.
So, what made a homemaker turn into a content creator?
As everyone says, it started during COVID, and COVID was not the best time for me. I was in a state of emotional exhaustion by the time, because I think I was 43 or 44 when that COVID period started. And I wasn't able to, my daily life became a struggle, because I would do everything. I would cook, I would do all the household work and everything, but mentally I was in such a struggle. And my children easily recognized that, and my daughter one day said, Amma, why don't you do something that you like? And I wasn't into any media, I wasn't into Facebook or anything at that time. So that, and I was the one who always kept telling her, don't go into social media, it's a very risky place to go, don't post your pictures and all that. So when she said that, I wasn't very comfortable, and she said, Amma, you always see, I always love to sing cinema songs, but in our families they don't allow us to sing cinema songs when we were young. Okay, they thought it's not good to sing romantic songs. So that was the reason behind. And then now she said, my daughter said, you can sing it now, ma, no one is going to say anything, just start singing. And even then I said, because there are a lot of wonderful singers out there, and I'm not the best singer, and how is the page going to move, and who is going to listen to my singing? But then she said, no, ma, people who like you will support you in your journey. So she said, that's how it started, as a music page where I started singing songs that I love. So that those were like the 80s and 90s song, not even the recent ones, but I still had some people, texting me that it's very nice, you're singing very well and all those things. And then as I was scrolling through Instagram, I came to know about reels, and then I asked her what reels is. And then she told me how to create reels and trend, because I didn't know anything about trend. She said, okay, these are trend music, you can put your own thoughts into the trend and present it in a way for your audience. And then just one day an incident happened in one of my WhatsApp groups. Someone insulted me very badly in the group. Okay, and they said, I don't know about chip, the computer chip. And then it was very hurting, because I'm a homemaker, I don't know about chip. And she said she knows about chips because she's a working woman. She had 25 software engineers working under her, so she knows everything about it, but I don't know. And she was urging others to explain to me what is a chip. And that was so insulting for me. That day I sat on the sofa, and I didn't dress up or anything, I didn't even comb my hair. I wear sari at home also, so with the same sari I sat down that day. And I did the trend, that bomb trend, I don't know if you remember, we used to have that, right? So that one I did, asking people how much a homemaker is working at home and why she is disrespected so much. And that became a super hit. And even actress Samantha, she also storied it, and everyone was appreciating it, and people started DMing me about how they are feeling as homemakers. And then only then I understood, there are so many people out there, with all the struggles that I went through. I understood that I'm not alone. That was the first time I understood that I am not alone. There are so many people out there, struggling in the same way. And then slowly I started creating, because the first one, that was not the first one, that I think that was my third reel or something. When that became a super hit, then I was like, will my other ones also go so viral? How is it going to go viral? What will I do? And then I put my thoughts into it, and I started thinking about what I went through as a woman in a family, what are the problems that we are going through. And then I started creating reels on all that. And most reels had very good reach. So that's how people started connecting with me on Instagram. And I started creating reels on women empowerment, patriarchy, child abuse, mental health, and relationships. Because, and you know, it filled my heart to have so many people supporting me, and it also gives me some satisfaction when I support them.
Correct. So, which is your favorite topic that you like to talk about?
I would talk about relationships only mostly, because I love to see happy couples. I love to see happy relationships. But with the number of messages that I'm getting on my Instagram, I feel, you know, a lot of people are in abusive relationships, and they're not able to come out of it. They are they say they love their husband, and but the husband is very abusive, but still they love their husband. It's like very addictive.
If a couple is in an abusive relationship, it definitely affects a woman. But how does it affect a child?
So the child gets very scared. He doesn't have any other place. For the child, the only safe place is the home. And as the child grows, and still the arguments are happening, still the conflicts are happening, the child starts feeling unworthy. They the child thinks, okay, appa and amma are fighting. Appa and amma don't are not loving me enough because I am unworthy of love. So the child starts feeling very bad, internalizes all the pain and all the hurt, and the child thinks that it is at fault. So
Okay.
and as they grow further, the boy, if it's a boy, the boy is going to take this as an example and behave very abusive towards his partner. And if it's a girl, the girl is going to start tolerating abuse because that's a familiar thing. She's already seen it. So
Correct.
she'll get into abusive relationships. So if this is a pattern happening in the family, we say that the child doesn't. The child, even if it's a small child, the child can still sense what the parents are
Correct.
doing. It's not that it's just a child. What do they know? You can just do whatever you like. Nothing like that. Child will be able to sense fear, and like if the family, if the home is going to be like a war zone, even we ourselves can't tolerate at this age. We
can't.
ourselves, how will a child even tolerate it? So it's best for anyway, even if the child is grown also, even then for the child to get into that matured state of thinking, I think it's going to take time, but by that time they'll also already be into that abusive relationship. I think this is one of the major things that women
I think
have
there
to.
is no end to this. It's a vicious circle.
Yes,
It
it is.
it goes on and on
Yes,
and on. There's no
yes,
full stop to it.
yes.
And the day a woman realizes
Hmm.
this, that's the full stop.
Yes. And yeah, it takes time for the woman to realize
It
it. And
definitely does.
it is very difficult. We easily say, oh, why don't you come out of the relationship? It is very easy to say that. But there are so many factors, no? We can't ask a woman to just walk out of her
You
relationship
can't,
like that. There are
because
so
a
many.
woman is only blamed for it again.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And what about the financial situation in the family? Because women are not allowed to work in some families.
Yes.
How will they even come out? So I think women, if if there is no compatibility in the marriage, I think women can look at things like, they can go for counseling, couple counseling. And even then, I've heard from women that the husband is not willing to come.
Yeah, a lot of
So
cases.
it's only in counseling, only the woman has to go again.
They think counseling means
Yeah.
dimag kharab hai,
Yeah, yeah,
and they don't want to.
yeah. So maybe taking a break away from each other for a few days to a few months, which will make them feel, the couple has to work on it actually. They have to, whatever works for them, or if nothing is working out, then the best way is to.
And I feel counseling is the last stage.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't see there is something that can happen.
Yes.
What, according to you, a woman should do in that situation?
The thing is, the women are very scared to move away because what the financial reasons may be there. The other thing is, they say they have a child. I have a child, ma'am. How can I not? How can I take divorce? But I strongly feel, even if the child, even if they are diverse, they can still be good as parents. As
Correct.
parents, the father can be a good father, mother can be a good mother. They don't have to stay together
Mhm.
and fight all the time, right?
I'm sure.
So that is one thing that they can think of. But again, if I say all this, no, I'm sure to get
Trolled on
hundreds
this.
of you're asking
You're breaking marriages.
yeah, you're breaking marriages, and you're asking women to take divorce.
No,
I'm
but
not. I'm against that, and I'm one person who admires all people in love. Even my daughter teases me,
Mhm.
Amma, your feed is full of abusive relationships, but your stories are full of love. And I'm the first person who will go and encourage love marriages, and I'm not here to create a misunderstanding. I'm not here to create a
Definitely not.
misunderstanding between couples or anything. I really
Huh.
love when people are in good, healthy relationships. That's what every woman deserves, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and every child deserves a safe home first, to begin
I
with.
think love is such a simple thing
Yes.
that people don't understand.
Yeah.
If everybody could give and take that, it would have been so easy for
Yes.
everybody around.
Very true.
So, did you ever feel a mother's guilt or a wife's guilt while you were spending time on your transformation?
Very much. Very much, because I used to spend my entire days in the kitchen, entire time in the kitchen. I used to cook elaborate meals. Not even one item will skip, and a lot of time. Coffee, breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Mhm.
everything I used to cook. So now, when I got into media, my time was. I was also very excited to scroll and see what other
Mhm.
people are doing, what they are posting, and everything.
Correct.
So that took my time away from the kitchen, and I started feeling guilty. Am I really a woman? I'm not spending time in the kitchen? Is this what women do? And and my children also, I used to be behind them, taking care of their every need. And then that also got reduced a little bit, because my focus was here on this thing. But that's one of the, I feel, but now they're very proud of me. My children are very proud of me now, and I think that's one of the biggest good things that I did to myself, like scrolling on Instagram and learning new things. We say that media is a bad place, but for me it has been a very good place, where I learned a lot of things, and I learned how to come out of the patriarchal setup and everything, opened my eyes, actually. So it is a very good thing that happened to me. But that wife's guilt, mother's guilt, I've been through all that, but now I know that it's for the greater good.
So you're satisfied, happy.
I am.
Are you still excited the way you used to be in the beginning?
Yes, very much.
You are.
Every day is a new day, and I look forward to creating new reels. And sometimes my daughter will like, Amma, not reels again. Like, I'm that involved, and I'm that passionate about creating reels.
Wow.
So
I'm
because
sure.
initially she was the one who was like, Amma, create something. Why are you sitting? But now I'm like behind her. I want to do this. So to the extent of she gets fed up sometimes.
But I'm sure this came with a lot of judgment,
Yes.
comments.
Yes.
From people around. How was that phase, and how it made you very confident about yourself?
Judgment, yes. Initially, it used to be very triggering, and I used to be ready for a fight. I used to prepare some answer in my mind, how to reply to them if they ask me about this. How should I answer them back?
Okay.
And all those things I used to keep ready. I used to get triggered, and all those things were there. But then gradually I understood that their opinion is not even valid. What bothers if anyone says anything about it? It's my life, and I have to live it the way I want to. And no one has any say about it. So then gradually I knew how to handle it also.
Correct.
So mostly social media was very supportive. So I didn't find a difficulty in my social media, but I did have difficulties in my family circle, where they wanted me to not do all this, because everyone is new to media. There is no one in my family who's into all this media or anything.
Okay.
So I did have all those struggles initially, that they wanted me to stop doing all this, my extended circle. And they were like, because I'm from a very traditional family, and they couldn't agree to me saying certain things which are not traditional by nature.
Okay.
So all those were also there. But then now I know that even if they say something, I'm not going to get affected by it anymore, because whatever is, I'm going to be my authentic self. Whatever feels right for me, I'm going to continue doing that. And I've received this opportunity very late in life, because I wanted to have a good career right from the beginning, right from when I was in college days. But then I had to quit my job and everything. I had to go take care of my family and everything. Now that I'm a little free and my children are grown, and I'm doing something that I'm very passionate about, I don't want to stop for any reason whatsoever.
You shouldn't also, and you're doing a great work.
Thank you so much.
And also, usually they say, right, what matters the most is your closer circle of family.
Yes.
And beyond that, people would come, go, tell.
Yes.
But focus on what you're doing.
True.
How was your husband's support in this?
Husband, see, support in the sense he's not like a great supporter of my reels or anything, but he doesn't say no to me creating reels.
Okay.
The thing is, sometimes, as I said, I used to cook elaborate meals,
Hmm.
and I used to make sure that not even one item is missed in any of my
Mhm.
meals. But now he has to compromise.
Hmm.
It's I don't.
Mhm.
It made me uncomfortable in the beginning, as I
Huh.
told you already. It made me very uncomfortable that I'm able to do only this much cooking today.
Hmm.
But then he also gradually got used to it, and I
Okay.
also felt it is not necessary to like
Mhm.
put myself into the kitchen 24/7.
Mhm. So a lot of people use the word vulgar to pull women down, especially when the skin is shown. What according to you is vulgarity?
I feel vulgarity is in their thoughts, not in the
Mm.
dress that we wear.
Hmm.
And yeah, even in my own family, I've seen this. Even 7th, 8th, 9th standard girls wearing skin colored leggings.
Hmm.
Older men will comment, "Why are you not wearing anything? Go wear something and come." It
Okay.
looks like you're not wearing anything.
Hmm.
And what if the girl is not wearing a legging or anything? Anyway, she's wearing a good top, right?
Correct.
And it is just the legs that she's showing, and even men are showing legs.
Yes.
And I don't know what they find, why they find it so vulgar when a woman exposes her legs, or sleeveless for that matter. Even I recently started wearing sleeveless only about 1 or 2 years ago. Only then, till then, I always used to wear all these covered stuff only. And then
Okay.
sometimes when I wear sleeveless, I get all these horrible comments also on Instagram.
You do?
"Eppadi taga taganu irukanga par." Like, see how she's
Huh.
shining. Something like that. They're not appreciating how I'm shining. They're just trying to like mock me.
Okay.
I get all those comments as well. I just ignore it. I don't reply or anything.
Hmm.
But what is so vulgar
Vul-
about skin?
Huh.
Skin is something that everyone has, right?
Yes. So do you think women is putting women down, or it's both men and women?
Both men and women, I feel.
Okay.
But men put down women more.
Okay.
Women putting women down has also happened on my page.
Okay.
Whenever, see, there was one reel where I created, I was showing, there was a dress where we don't have to wear a bra,
Hmm.
and we'll still feel comfortable in that.
Yes.
And so I was showing the bra like this, and it was a
Huh.
dance kind of reel. And then for then the very next reel, I was wearing a sari, fully covered, and the very next reel was like
Correct.
that. And there was a woman who said, "Ippadi pannu,
Hmm.
you be proper like this.
Okay.
Olanga ipdi pannu, be
Okay.
proper like this."
Okay.
So she was hinting that I shouldn't be like that and I should be like this. So this is how women judge women,
Yes.
do like this, be like this, dress like this. So women also are doing that. Men, KK Venda, they're all over the internet, auntie, because they are thinking auntie is a shaming word. How come? I am an auntie. What is there to shame people saying auntie?
Correct.
Auntie, don't do this. Ayo, auntie. They'll do all young boys, no? They'll do all that.
Yes.
So I don't care. I don't care. I am an auntie, and everyone loves me as an auntie, as a mom, so I don't care about all that. But men, especially men, when I talk about men, there are some men who say it's only because of people like you that divorces are happening. It's only because of you women like you that families are breaking. But it is not the truth. Divorces are not happening because one single woman is talking something on the net, right? That's
Correct.
not happening. Divorces are happening because women found their voice, women found their courage, women understood their self-worth.
Exactly.
And they know their self-respect. So that's why divorces are happening. They don't want to adjust anymore. They don't want to put up with all the abuse.
So basically, they want women to be unheard always.
Yes. So that's where men come into picture.
So one moment or one comment that hit you really hard, and if you would want to share that.
In the past 5 years, so many are there.
Okay.
So, see, when I receive negative comments, it stays with me for a longer period of time than the positive comments. But I started learning how to handle it. I started learning to ignore all that, because they are maybe saying it out of jealousy, or maybe they are feeling insecure, or I don't know what is the reason they should go online and come on. I'm a stranger to them. And what is the reason for them to comment? They can take care of their own life, and they can do things they like. Why to shame me on the internet? But I think I started learning to handle it, and I'm out of it now.
Okay.
Nothing like hurts me forever. Nothing like that.
So yes, I'm sure you have triggering memories from your past, and would you want to share some so that women who are going through it don't have to go through a trauma?
For me, see, I wouldn't want any girl to discontinue her studies and go into marriage, because I don't
Mhm.
want any family to force a girl child to marry by
Mhm.
stopping her studies. That is one thing, that is really very triggering, and it's so traumatic for the girl child. I mean, I'm saying child, for the girl, even if the girl is like 22 or 24 or
Mhm.
26 or whatever be the age, the marriage is a very personal choice, and it should be the decision of the woman when to marry, whom to marry, where
Mhm.
to marry. All these things are a woman's personal choice, and even not even the
Mhm.
parents can force someone to marry, and
Mhm.
especially discontinuing their studies. That because that happens.
Correct.
And I'm getting DMs from 27, 30 year olds that
Mhm.
their parents are forcing them to marry someone that they are not interested in.
Okay.
That's so unfair. Marriage is something that is, you have to put your heart out in a marriage, right? It's
Mm.
both an emotional and a physical connect. And how
Yes.
can you expect a girl to go and bond with someone emotionally and physically,
Mhm.
especially physically, when the girl is not interested in the marriage?
Mhm.
And what is the name when you force people into that? I don't know. Everyone
Mm.
knows what it is. It is definitely
Yes.
not marriage.
It is not.
It is not marriage at all. And I don't know
Mm.
how parents have the heart to do this to their own children,
Mhm.
especially when they know that a girl is falling in love with someone. They'll make sure the
Mm.
marriage happens very soon to some other boy. So
Exactly.
I mean, so many people are writing to me, and
Mhm.
that is so heartbreaking. I only hope parents understand their own, it's their own
Mhm.
daughter. Who else is going to be nice
Correct.
to them? So it is, I only wish parents
Mhm.
understand their girls better than
Mhm.
other people.
But I think also these days, women don't take a stand against their parents because looking at how things are happening, the divorces are happening, they feel that if I take a wrong step tomorrow, I wouldn't have my family around.
Very true.
And hence the reason they don't want to take that step.
Very true.
But also, like you said, parents should also understand.
Hmm.
If not that, they should give options.
Marriage is, I don't know what, marriage has become so difficult and complicated
It
nowadays.
is very,
Yeah.
like, especially people from the older generation,
Yeah.
if you hear it
Yeah.
from them
Yeah.
to people now,
Yeah.
it's very different.
Yes.
The language of love has changed.
Yes, it does. It has changed.
We often hear women have it all, women can do it all. Do you really think it's possible or it's just stressful?
It is possible, but it is also stressful. We have to agree to both.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to do it all, because that's why I had to leave my job and take care of my family and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But I think now it is. See, when I think it is very important that partners discuss this in advance, even before marriage. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how are they going to handle it when they have kids? What is, how
Mm-hmm.
will the, because every time we expect the girl to take a break in her career, and after
Correct.
that she becomes outdated and she can't enter into the workforce again.
Correct.
So before marriage, I think it's very important that partners discuss this with each other. How are they
Mm-hmm.
going to handle it? Are they going to hire a nanny? Are they going to hire a cook? Because the girl cannot do it all by herself.
Yes.
So it's very important they discuss all this in advance, and they're
Mm-hmm.
prepared for what is to come. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
they can talk to people and see how they handle the situation.
Mm-hmm.
They can talk to other people, and then so that's what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be stressful, but I think they will have the uh, see, nowadays things are much more simpler. Earlier in our days, we weren't allowed to hire a cook or anything, because even we didn't even have servant maids those days. So we
Correct.
had to do it all. So now help is available,
Mm-hmm.
and we can do, I think they will be able to do it. It might be a little stressful when children are young, but
Mm-hmm.
once they grow, I think they'll be happy that the
Mm-hmm.
girl will be happy that she didn't give up her career, because the
Mm-hmm.
children will grow one day, and then
Correct.
like me, I'm like looking forward to my empty nest syndrome. Now the
Mm-hmm.
children, they're all big, and they'll be going about doing their things.
Mm-hmm.
And what will I do now? Only because of this reason, after 35,
Mm-hmm.
women start, oh, my children are grown now, what will I do?
Mm-hmm.
So
And I think that's the time where a lot of women come out of their shell because they
yes,
find free time and they are able to do much more.
yes.
So, yes, you also have a daughter. How do you find a safe space for her, knowing how scared, dangerous, wild the world outside is?
Yeah, see, now my daughter is grown now, so now how I am giving her a safe space is not becoming defensive when she says something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if what she says is very triggering for me, even if what she says, kind of hurts me in some way, even then I don't get defensive and tell her, oh, why are you saying this? And I don't do that. I try to sit with her. I try to have a healthy conversation with her and try to see what is in the back of her mind and why is she coming up with such a thing. And if she has any complaints about me, I try to understand it from her point of view. And I don't try to establish like I am the parent, I am right. So I don't do that. So
Okay.
that is one way that I am doing it now. But I honestly have to admit that I was not the best parent. I'm really happy that there is a lot of awareness about gentle parenting now and how people can grow up their children in a very safe environment. But back those days, we were parented in a very tough way, and we thought that is the only style of parenting. I always had that awareness because I am a victim of that tough parenting. So I've always had the awareness, but still, subconsciously somewhere I used to think like parent na like this, you have to be like that. So, but
You have
as
to
she
be
started,
strict.
you have to be strict and all that. But as she started growing, I understood that, this is not how, because every time I'll connect it to my experience. I suffered, my daughter should not suffer. I suffered like that, my daughter should not suffer like that. So I used to make that connection, and I think I've parented her uh, in a gentle way, but not, like it would have been very supportive if, all these lessons and all these Instagrammers and everything, people who are into gentle parenting, if all these people had been there that time, it would have been super helpful for mothers like me,
Exactly.
and to how to handle some situations and all.
Mhm.
So I learned it the hard way, but now you people have support, so it's very nice.
It is. So, what do you think, or how would you describe freedom? Because these days, freedom is described in many ways. How would you describe it?
I feel freedom starts from home because that's where women are suppressed the most. Even when you voice out some small concern, they invalidate you, or they just overpower you, saying you're saying the wrong things. No, you're trying to put down the whole family like this. Even if it's a simple wish, like, I want to travel, or I want to wear a sleeveless dress, even that's going to create confusions in some families that are very traditional.
Correct.
So freedom is something that, that should start from home. And also financial freedom, I think that is one important step that women have to take for themselves. Even though I've been a homemaker, I always urge women to be financially, stable, and then get into marriage. Not to rush into a marriage just because they love someone. Yeah, love is a beautiful thing, but make sure that they have that financial stability before entering into a relationship. And freedom to, as all of us know, we like to walk without any fear in the night. So that is a very important thing. If that could be there, then we will feel really happy.
What's your suggestion that you would give to women who are suppressed, say from your era or beyond, to make a shift and step out and are not able to do it?
It's very difficult for women of my era, because I know, because I'm almost 49. So a woman of my age to break open out of the shell and come out and do things that they love, it's going to feel highly uncomfortable in the beginning, but the effort is totally worth it. The effort is totally worth it. They have to make a beginning, and I think, always think, if the fire is there within, at some point of time you will start shining. It's not like, the motivation is not from outside, it's only from inside us. You always have the fire and the courage to do things that you love.
Be one trigger.
Yeah.
Until and unless that trigger happens, like in my case, I told you how and what was the trigger and what got me into this.
Yeah.
Similar way, I think everybody needs that trigger.
Yes.
Until and unless you find that trigger, it's a little difficult,
Yes.
not impossible.
And one thing that women can do anything at any age, and even if they don't get big, that's what I always say. Even if it doesn't get that big, they'll still be doing something that they love.
Correct.
So anyway, it's a win-win.
What is that one message you would want to give to the homemakers who are watching this?
Know your worth. You're doing a lot for your family. You're thinking that you're just a homemaker. That's what people say. You're just a homemaker. You're taking rest all the time, but you're working morning till night. Look at the activities that you're doing, starting from coffee, starting from preparing. See, the homemakers at the higher society, they may be having maids for everything, but the normal homemaker in normal middle class homes, they are doing the entire work by themselves. They're not hardly taking any rest in the afternoon.
Correct.
Or in the evening. They don't have time at all, in fact. So that's how they are working. And they think after 35 or 40 they start feeling bad that they don't contribute in terms of money to the family, and they feel very stressed about it. I know a lot of women who are very stressed because they don't contribute financially. So understand your worth in the family. You're doing a lot. You're doing such amazing job being a wife and being a good mother. You're raising responsible citizens for
Correct.
our country. So you're doing the best work actually. So never underestimate what you're doing.
But what if we calculate what work homemakers are doing at home without being paid? It would not even be equivalent to what women are doing at work.
Very true. Very
So-
true. If we look at the tasks that a homemaker does, she starts from making coffee in the morning, and then she skips her own breakfast, but she starts going. She starts doing breakfast for her family.
Correct.
She prepares lunch for her kids and husband if he has to go for work, and then all this time she wouldn't even have had her own sip of coffee. She would be doing it in a empty stomach. And then she'll send everyone to work and school and everything. She has to switch off the lights and fan is there everywhere, and she has to, all the people would just leave the home like that, right? All the bedspread, everything she has to arrange, and
Correct.
she'll make sure the house is neat and tidy before everyone comes back home.
Unpaid labor.
Unpaid labor. So these are very little things. So actually even when I came here, if someone is here to lock the door, take care of, otherwise we'll have 100 thoughts, no? Did I switch off the gas stove? Did I close the door properly? So the housewife is taking so much of emotional labor. So all those have to be calculated. And then she picks up children from school, she drops them at school, she sits with them for homework and makes them do all the, she takes them for extracurricular classes.
Correct.
And then lunch, then dinner again she prepares snacks for them when they are back from school. So it's like no rest. And I don't even know how to say, some people say it's 70,000, some people say it's 1 lakh, and I don't even know how to calculate the worth, because how much money can you assign for the love that she gives you, the emotional
Exactly.
support that she gives you. So I don't even know. When they put it in terms of value, it's nice to hear, because
is.
people who don't realize their worth, for them it's nice to see that figure, but I
True.
feel it's much beyond that.
It is definitely.
Yeah.
Do you feel the need of your husband while doing small activities? Like, not just by doing it along, but he cared a little more. He would have asked or checked on.
In my generation, we've always had husbands who focused only on their work. So I'm from that kind of a generation. We didn't even know that men can sit with us and give us some emotional support that we truly need. And I've spent years crying, because I feel alone. I feel very lonely. I don't have anyone. A married woman feeling lonely, that is the worst part.
Correct.
But we are also from a generation that men didn't know many things. That I'm so glad that men are learning now. They know how to be supportive of their wife. They know what to do when the wife is not feeling well. All those things men are also learning. It's a very new thing, and it's so heartwarming to see that men are willing to learn. That is the first thing. Men are willing to learn now. They are not, because in my times, why are you like a woman? That they'll shame the man if the man tries to be very soft and all. They'll shame the man. Why are you like a woman?
Do you think that women really support women, or it's just the show off?
I wouldn't say show off, but what I honestly felt is women support women when they are miserable or when they are going through a tough phase. When someone is going through a tough phase, there are women who are willing to support the woman. But once the woman comes out of her difficulties or struggles, and then she gets her success and she becomes happy, that's the time she loses other women around her. Because I don't know what happens when women climb up the ladder, or gets her success, or when she finds her happiness. That's when women start judging her. Other women start judging her, and they try to not disconnect from her. This I've seen that happen in my life as well.
Okay.
So that is one thing that I've always felt.
So did it happen with your growth also that women have cut off from you, your closest ones?
It's not, I don't want to find fault with the women, because sometimes naturally we grow out of each other, because our paths don't align and we become busy also in our work. I wouldn't say exactly that, but I somehow feel even if I'm happy, I need the support.
Correct.
Even if I'm successful, I need support. I want to enjoy with my friends. I want to go out, be happy with them. That should not lack. Just the minute the
Mm.
person finds their happiness,
Mm.
people should not move away from her. That is
True.
one thing I felt. I have always
Mm.
felt.
I think that is not to bring women down, but I have also seen this. At good times, they would be around,
Yeah,
but when you actually need them,
that
you
also.
wouldn't find them.
Yeah, vice versa. That also
Yeah,
happens.
you wouldn't.
That also
So,
happens.
Yes.
I think women should be with supporting women at all times. It's not like this particular time.
Yes,
or
the
that.
highs and lows
Yeah.
should not be counted.
Yeah.
True, indeed.
Yeah.
Who's been the biggest support of your journey?
Friends, you mean?
Yes.
See, I am from a family that I never had friends till my 43.
Mhm.
See, the biggest the biggest problem that I see with women is they don't every woman is focused on her family only.
Mhm.
They don't want to come out. I don't know if you see it in other places, but in Chennai, but in the south, in Tamil Nadu, I think it is like that. Women don't want to go out with friends. Not of my generation. Maybe nowadays
Mhm.
girls are doing that, and it's very good. I really encourage women to go out, to have a lot of girlfriends, women friends, and to go hang out with and enjoy their life. But of my generation, women were very focused on their families. Even now, even last week, we were trying to, talk in my WhatsApp group. We were trying to, with my college friends, we were trying to go out somewhere, but it is not. It is just not happening.
Okay.
People don't want to come out. They're not even responding. Some women are not even responding, and some don't want to come out at all. Like,
What do you think the reason could be?
see, now for me, I was thinking maybe we all got we are all touching 50s. So I thought maybe we're all aging. Everyone is tired or what? These were things that came up to my mind. But I strongly feel women prioritize their families more than their friends.
Mhm.
And if it is with their family, they go, right. If they want to plan some outing with their family, they'll definitely go. Definitely go. They won't refuse or anything. But with friends, they still have that, should I really go?
Mhm.
Why to go now? And I think for my generation,
Do
maybe.
you feel they also think that it's waste of time?
Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. See, I didn't even talk to anyone, ask them why you're not coming or anything.
Okay.
But I had a feeling why women have to start enjoying their life,
Exactly, they should.
right? So I think they're not doing that. They still have their inhibitions, they still prioritize only their families.
They do that, yes. Lot of women who do, they are just out of their way doing it, and women who don't do are just not doing it.
Yes.
So yes, there is something that is being missed. There should be a way out.
Yeah.
If your 975 posts were a gift to the women, what would one message that you want to pass it to out?
Live your life. Because throughout history, we've always been telling that women are meant to sacrifice. I've heard this many times in my own family. I've heard elders saying that only if a woman sacrifices, the family can come up.
Okay.
That's what they had in mind, and that's what they kept on telling. So that's not true at all. Only when you start living your life, only when the mother is happy can they raise a happy family. Only when the mother is happy, the children can also be happy. Only when the mother is happy, the husband can also be happy. So overall, it is you that is very important to the family, and it is very important that you live your life, do things that you love. Any age, you can be of any age. It is important that you can start in a small way. So as I said, even if it doesn't get big, you're still going to be doing something that you love. That is very important. It'll give you a lot of happiness and satisfaction.
Can I play a quick rapid fire with you?
I hope I'm able to do it well.
Super, let's do it. So, one word that would describe your current version of who you are.
Bold.
Okay. Sari, salwar, or a Western outfit, what do you feel more powerful in?
Western.
One habit that you never want to go back to.
Pleasing others.
One compliment that you have received from your daughter and you want to share, what was it?
She's always been complimenting me so many times, and I'm not able to think of one word that she said. She's my entire backbone.
Okay. Social media, a blessing or a curse?
Blessing.
What's that one thing you would want to tell yourself when you wake up and look at the mirror first thing in the morning?
I'm going to be having a happy day today.
Wow. I love it. I love your answers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sumitra, for being so honest today. And one thing that you have proved is the most important person is yourself. It's just that it is hidden in you. Just grow, come out of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joey. It was a pleasure connecting with you today. And, I really feel happy to have all these heartfelt conversations with other women, because this is what women are, women supporting other women in their journeys. That
Yes.
is something that, every woman should have in their life. So thank you. And I had such a great time with you today.
It did. In fact, let's look at building this together and wish we are able to do a lot more in this.